What do you think he's thinking?
I think he's thinking about the first play. What do I want to do? Let me just, to be honest with you, what I thought of, just get the snap.
On the actual sideline, DC looked really nervous. He was doing everything he could to suppress the whole I'm nervous and give off cool, calm, and collective. But I saw it in his eyes. He was nervous, as he should have been, as I was, and as every other rookie on that team was, and then even some of the older guys, just because it was so new. It was just uncharted territory for everybody, being in a new franchise.
Yeah, he did a nice job of kind of keeping his composure, and he was excited just like all the rest of us. But we had confidence in him, and he had confidence. I don't think there was a lot of anxiety or nervousness. I think it was just more excitement to get out there on the field.
On the very first play from scrimmage, following the nice return by Jermaine Lewis, the Texans went deep.
To the right side, it's Corey Bradford, I formation behind the rookie quarterback, David Carr.
On the sideline, looking at DC, I think I gave him a hard time. Said, "Are you nervous? Don't be nervous. Don't fumble the snap." Messing with him before the first play, we were like, "He's going to air this thing out, and CB's going to make me look good."
Carr looks it over, drops back in the pocket. David throws long. Right sideline, wants a man, pass interference called. Corey Bradford, the intended receiver, double coverage. The Texans are going to get the ball deep in Dallas territory.
A few plays later, the Texans got on the scoreboard for the first time in team history as David Carr hit tight end Billy Miller for a touchdown.
Takes the snap. Stands tall, throws, short left, caught by Miller, takes it over the 5, into the end zone, touchdown Houston! David Carr to Billy Miller, the first touchdown in Texans history, a 19-yarder, and the Texans strike first.
Game between two of the best teams in the AFC. That, according to Charlie Casserly. Houston wins 24-17 in a game that most of the country did not see. And to be honest with you, folks, be thankful you didn't see it. It wasn't the prettiest of football games. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz and NFL.com's Pat Kerwin and CBS Sports' Charlie Casserly. Call him like I see him, ladies and gentlemen. A game with two quarterbacks did not perform particularly well for most of the game. Sage Roosevelt did have the one long pass to Andre Davis. We're slipping up here because now Houston has the bye, and they get Andre Johnson back. But, Charlie, the Texans go into the bye week 4-5, and when they come back, they'll get a healthy Matt Schaub and maybe a healthy Andre Johnson.
Yeah, this was a crucial win for him because, as Jason said, you're 4-5 at the bye. You get rested up. The big thing is you get Andre Johnson back. He's the best player on your football team. In the first two games, he was the main reason you won. Matt Schaub gets healthy. He comes back. You're home. So, really, and you got your running game starting to get a little bit better here. You get Echemando back, too, who right now is probably the most explosive back. So, things are pointing up for Houston. Heading into the bye and coming out of the bye, they have New Orleans at home, big game.
And of course, that is a home game, which is even. Charlie, you said this before. They were 2-0. Were the Texans with Andre Johnson? Without him, they were 2-5. Now as they head into the bye, Matt Schaub a little banged up, but able to run the football a little bit better today. But again, it's the Oakland Raiders defense. They haven't stopped the run.
No, the Raider defense has been a disappointment all year. Remember, this defense was ranked real high last year. So where are they? Maybe it was a facade because the offense was so bad last year they never got exposed. They get in these tight games, all of a sudden the tackling's not very good, the coverage isn't very good, and you see all the errors that are going on. So there's a lot to do in Oakland. It's going to take a couple of years to fix it. I did like Justin Fargas, though. I thought Justin Fargas has emerged as the guy they trust carrying the football.
Yeah, Justin Fargas is looking good, and the running game there is a little bit better today. But again, Houston's rush defense has not been very good this year either. One thing that Charlie pointed out before we started this was that they've got a quarterback problem, and they knew that when they went into the draft. That's why they drafted Jamarcus Russell. How quickly before we see him?
Well, the story coming out of Oakland all summer was you'll see him in 08. He's not at camp. He won't be ready. They were happy to have Josh McCown back today, although Josh had a terrible day, throwing 3 interceptions, and basically has to take some or a lot of responsibility for the loss. In talking to Lane Kiffin this week, I got a sense they might be accelerating the schedule and the process for Jamarcus, and maybe we'll see him now before the season's over, because this season's over for the Raiders as it relates to getting in the playoffs.
Getting in the playoffs, 2-6. However, at 4-5, it's not over for the Texans because you got the Colts and the Patriots on top, and you got a bunch of teams that are 5-3. And you got the Titans who are 6-2. So 4-5 is not out of the mix here for the Texans. Charlie, real quick, what do you see as the prognosis for the rest of the season for Houston?
Well, again, I think that with Andre Johnson and Schaub back healthy, you got a chance to be able to score points because you got a good tight end, Owen Daniels. You found a second and third receiver with Andre Davis in there and Walters. So you got some weapons. The problem they're going to have to do is can they get a consistent running attack going, which kind of has been lacking for them. They lost Dante Robinson today. If they lose him permanently, that's a huge loss for them. If they can get him back after the bye, then they got a chance because he's their best cover man. He's having a Pro Bowl season.
He's a former first-round pick, 9th overall, I believe, out of South Carolina. And they got to get him, of course, back before the bye, or after the bye as well. And maybe stop some people as well, because as you said, they will be able to score some points when they get Andre Johnson back. For more on this game that you probably didn't see or any other in Week 9, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com or everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For these two.
Hello, everyone. Bill McAtee along with Steve Berline in Oakland for your NFL recap presented to you by Lexus. And, Steve, it was an impressive day for the Oakland Raiders, winning for only the 4th time this season.
It sure was. And you got to start with the play of Jamarcus Russell. 18 of 25, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. He looked very sharp from the first play of the ball game. But you got to talk about Johnny Lee Higgins, too, second-year player out of UTEP. Today with a punt return touchdown, a touchdown reception, really made a lot of big plays. The Raiders did not look like a 3-11 ball club today.
And the much maligned Raider defense stepped up. They limited Andre Johnson to 2 catches.
Yeah, who would have thought that coming into this ball game? The Raiders defense, who just been torched lately, especially last week by the New England Patriots, giving up big runs, big passes, very, very, very poor playing defense most of the season. Today, boy, they look like they were in complete control, shutting down a high-powered Houston Texans offense. Made them look very average today.
And what about the Texans? They look like they had taken a huge leap forward with their win last week against the Tennessee Titans. This week, though, a step backward.
Definite step backward. Gary Kubiak, he told us in our meeting on Saturday that he thought this was kind of a trap game, did not like the way his team was matching up with the Raiders, and for good reason. They came out today and were out-physicaled and outplayed all the way around every aspect of the ballgame.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. That will do it for us. Tune in next week for more NFL action on CBS Sports. Our coverage begins at noon Eastern with the NFL Today, and throughout the week, stay on top of all the latest NFL news and coverage from around the league at CBSSports.com.
Riding their first 4-game winning streak in franchise history. We'll see how that carries over heading to this game and next year as they play at Oakland this weekend. Jason Horowitz, CBS Sports' Charlie Cass. Really glad to be with you on the NFL previews presented by Comcast. And Charlie, this team, although mathematically has been eliminated from the playoffs, they're that 4th quarter against the Indianapolis Colts where they blew that 17-point lead from still being in this playoff race. Yes. So this has been a good football team, especially down the stretch. How much does that carry over to next year?
I think it does carry over a lot to next year because basically this team right now is winning because of their offense. It's a very high-powered offense. It's one of the top tops in the league. I believe it's ranked 3rd in yardage per game. And here's the thing. They bring the whole offense back next year. That's really the key, because all these young players will get a chance to play together and grow together and improve.
And you've got key parts in Matt Schaub. You've got Steve Slayton. You've got Andre Johnson. You've got Owen Daniels. You've got some very good parts on this offense. And the offensive line, as you have pointed out all season, is getting better. But what do they need specifically to be a playoff team next year? What position on the field?
I think defensively they've got to get Dante Robinson, their best corner, re-signed. Then I think they got to get another corner to go opposite him. Somewhere they either have to get, and ideally get another corner and get another defensive end that can rush the passer. And then all of a sudden now you can rush the passer and you can play man-to-man defense, and you have a lot of flexibility in your blitz package. They could use some help at safety. But the point is they've got it narrowed down to a couple of specific things.
And we'll give you some props for Mario Williams as well. Now that he's going to the Pro Bowl and should have gone last year as well in his second year. Tremendous player there, and of course the former #1 overall pick of the Houston Texans is the man to my right, Charlie Casserly. All right, when you look at the Oakland Raiders, #1 pick last year, Jamarcus Russell, #4 pick this year, Darren McFadden. What do they have to build on moving forward?
Well, they have more openings for jobs than the Houston Texans, but what do they have to build on? I think they got a good nucleus of running backs. They've got a tight end in Zach Miller, so they've got a couple of points there. As far as the quarterback goes, I think it's an unknown, but at least you know you have physical talent there. And over on defense, they got Nnamdi Asomugha. Did I get that right?
Nnamdi Asomugha.
Nnamdi Asomugha. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize to him. The best corner in the National Football League, so they've got him to build on. And they've got some depth in the defensive line. They've got some linebackers, so they have some parts. It's not a total disaster, but it does need a lot of work.
As a whole, good parts individually as a whole, it's still, and they need a coach. That's the other part. We'll see who is the head coach of the Oakland Raiders next year. All right, key to this game, Charlie, because we are playing on Sunday. What's the key to this game?
Well, I think from Houston's point of view, hey, don't turn the ball over. That's what's kept them out of the playoffs. Too many turnovers at the quarterback position. If they don't turn it over, I think they can move up and down the field and have a big day offensively. So watch for turnovers at the quarterback position, which means pass protection, protect the football in a rush.
All right, let's see what AccuScore says about this one. 10,000 tests, 10,000 results, all mathematical. And AccuScore, as you'd expect, likes the Texans to go to Oakland. It wasn't too long ago that this was a game for the #1 draft pick. That's not the case anymore, because Houston's going to be in the middle of the road, and they're going to finish with a good record and possibly first ever winning record in franchise history if the Texans can win out. Charlie, you like Houston to win this game?
I like Houston to win this game. I think the two keys for them is don't turn the ball over, and they got to slow down the running game of the Oakland Raiders. If they can do that, they win. I feel they are going to be able to do that. I don't think that Oakland's offense can keep up with Houston's offense in this game.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out. It's on CBS. For more on this one or any other in Week 16, stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. Charlie Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks. Oakland just struggling. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kerwin. Glad to be with you on the NFL Preview Show presented by Tyson Anytizers. And Pat, you look at this game. Let's start with the Texans. Were you surprised they lost last week to the Jaguars at home?
Yes, I was, because I knew they could score, and they had a nice pass offense. I knew they'd be able to put points on the board. When you get down to it and look at the fumble, and you look at the interception early in the game, that's almost a 10 to 14 point swing. That becomes the reason they lose the game. They would have won this game. We wouldn't have scrutinized this defense as much as we probably really should have to, and now we're going to.
Well, we have to. Look, I mean, you're talking about a defense that is dead last in rush defense in the Houston Texans. Okay, now you play Darren McFadden and Michael Bush. But it's a defense that also, it can't stop anybody. It can't get off the field. Does that change this week against Oakland?
Well, they can't get off the field. Let's talk about that first. They don't get off the field because they don't rush the passer. They got 2 sacks and 98 pass attempts against them. Where's Mario Williams? He has 1 sack. And the other part of it is they lose on 3rd down. So that secondary back there can't make a play on the ball. They're a one-corner football team. You can work the other side of the field away from Dunta Robinson and be very happy with your results. So that's what's wrong with that team.
But can you do that with Jamarcus Russell?
No. Jamarcus Russell, to me, is struggling so much, and they're trying to protect him, and they're very sensitive about whatever anyone says about him. But when I went to camp, I'll say it again, the guy was not making decisions fast enough to have an effective passing attack. He'd stand in the pocket, and Tommy Cable's talked about it. Unless we get this passing game going, we're going to struggle every week. So it starts out as a run game, and it's going to end as a run game. But Darren McFadden's got 7 fumbles and 16 starts. You can't turn the ball over.
Yeah, Darren McFadden's been struggling, and they're not running the football either. Now, last week they did it against Denver. They couldn't run the football against the Broncos, and they do have one of the best rush defenses so far this season, do the Broncos. Can they run on Houston, who, as I said, is the worst in the NFL in rush
They
defense.
will run the ball on Houston, but Houston's going to have that scoring stuff going on with Andre Johnson and with Owen Daniels, the tight end, and they're getting some really good results from their running game right now. That's starting to pick up. So can you stay up with the Houston scoring by just running the ball? And the answer to that question is no. Somewhere in the middle of this game, they're going to have shift gears and give this ball to Jamarcus Russell and say, go win it with the passing game, and he will struggle and fail.
Now, he has had probably his best performance did come against the Texans. Last year, he was 18 to 25, 236, 2 touchdowns, no picks in the game against the Texans. So he has had a good performance against this team in the past, but it came towards the end of last year. Pat, it's in Houston. Texans, if they're going to take that step to try to become a playoff team, they got to win this football game, do they?
Yeah, I think they do. I talked to Eric Winston, the starting tackle. He was the guy that they ran that ball behind with Chris Brown when he fumbled. He was disgusted by it. He said, there's no division in our locker room. There's no one on offense pointing fingers at the defense. We're hoping that defense comes through. He thinks they will. To me, as soon as Mario Williams starts lighting up the quarterback, this problem will simmer down for them, and then their 30 points will hold up to win a football
30
game.
points should hold up in many football
Yes.
games. Last week it didn't do it. Well, they didn't get the 30 because they fumbled at the goal line. This game's 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. For more on it, be sure to stay right here with CBSSports.com. That'll do it for the NFL Preview Show presented by Tyson Anytizers, the meaty good man snack. For Pat Kerwin, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.
On the helmet, the stickers. And then it was time to play football. Andre Johnson injured on the sidelines a couple of weeks for Houston. Matt stumped the Schaub to Kevin Walker. Touchdown, 5 yards, and the Texans lead at 7-0. Now it's 7-6, and Jason Campbell, well, they throw it long. That's what the Raiders have done for, well, a half a century, Tom, but this is too long and picked off by Jason Allen. Campbell had a tough start. Schaub, a play action, looks for Joel Saladreesen. You think he's open? Yep, 56 yards, and the Texans lead it 14-6. Now in the second quarter, Darius Hayward-Bay takes the swing from Campbell, and he's gone. Touchdown. The Raiders try to go for 2. They don't make it, but they trail at 14-12. Now they're up 15-14. And Matt Schaub to Walter makes a great sliding catch. Here comes Houston.
Well, great extension on the catch and a great job of pulling the ball in. Clearly, that's a catch.
Raiders hold Houston to a field goal, but Houston takes a 17-15 lead. Darren McFadden held in check a lot of the day by Houston. The leading rusher going into the game picks up 14 yards, and then the next play, McFadden, he runs hard and can move and has a 20-yard pickup as he gets upfield. Now it sets up same drive, but we're fourth quarter. Campbell to, a lot of these names you don't know as well. Chaz Schillings, who takes it to 10 and he scores. The Raiders lead it 22-17. They block the field goal, and on a punt, the Raiders snap it to the up back. Rock Cartwright. Rock, papers, scissors, 35 yards.
What a great football name, Boom.
Yep. And then Sebastian Janikowski, who has 3 field goals of 50 or more, kicks a 42-yarder, and the Raiders lead it 25-17. Field goal makes it 25-20, but Houston has a chance. Schaub, pressured, finds Walter over the midfield stripe, 26-yard gain. Then, minute to go. Schaub, incomplete to Jacoby Jones, but Richard Seymour a little too energetic.
Yeah, take another look at it. Richard Seymour fighting off a block comes in, and some people call it the Brady rule. You hit a quarterback like that around the knees, you're going to see the flag.
And on the next play, they get the yardage back really for the penalty, Tommy, because can't handle the snap, a loss of 13. 2 plays later, 29 seconds, third and 23. Schaub buys some time, and he hits Dreesen down to the 5, but they got no times out. Tick, 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 tick is 15 seconds. Tick, 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 tick. They got to get everybody on side, both sides of the ball. Will the clock run out? Tick, 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 spike. Hugh Jackson can only watch from the Raiders sideline. Schaub scrambling, and he looks for Jones in the end zone, but it's picked off by a former #1 pick, Michael Huff, wearing one of the most famous numbers in Raider history, 24. It's owned by Hall of Famer Willie Brown. Upstairs, the Davis family. Down low, the Davis family, if you will. Coach, players, beside themselves. They came out, and they wanted to win so badly for Al Davis, and they did it. The Raiders beat the Texans 25-20. They and Houston.
Hey, listen up, guys. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. It's been a hard 24 hours, and I've let on to you guys. Losing that man hurt me more than you know. But you know what? Just like I told you, I know he loves you guys. Just like he loves his coaching staff and his organization. And that man, that was a hell of a job by you, Michael Huff. Yeah. But I tell you this, Al Davis had his hands on that ball, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Al
sir.
Davis had his hand on that ball. Listen, team, listen to me. Please, listen to me. You got to trust me. You got to just keep playing. And that's what we did. We just kept playing. It didn't go right. And there's so many things to fix. It didn't go right. But you know what your man did? You kept fighting because you know what? That's what that man will want you to do. That's what Raiders do. That's what Raiders do. It ain't going to always be pretty. I never told you it wouldn't be hard, and I never told you it'd be pretty. But you know what? There's nothing like winning. Nothing like winning. You guys deserve it, man. You busted your ass. You have Victory Monday. Okay? Yeah! Because you guys have earned it. You guys have earned it. But listen to me when I tell you this. We got to come. Listen. Chill. We got to come back with more resolve and more effort than what we had in this game. Everybody got me? Yes, but we kept playing. That's what we're really all about, man. That's what Raiders do. We got some work to do, but you know what? Everybody else does too. Last time I checked, we're 3-2, and we're heading home, and we got 3 at home. We got 3 at home. The next one's going to be Cleveland, okay? And we got to get ready, man. Let's get better, and let's get ready. Here we go. Let's get thanks.
Great win, fellas. Great win, baby.
Again, guys, just a moment of silence. Just a moment of silence. Al, we love you. We know that you're watching over this team. We love you. And we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep playing like Raiders for you. We're going to keep honoring this man all year for what he's done for us because he's touched each and every last one of us. Let's bow.
At the end of the 2013 season, we made it our number one priority as an organization to identify and acquire a proven winning starting quarterback in the National Football League. And it became obvious early on in that search of the quarterbacks that Matt Schaub of the Houston Texans was a player that may become available, and we felt like was a player that would meet that role. So I know Dennis and Reggie put all of their time and energy into seeing this day happen. We're obviously excited. We hope that the Raider Nation, the Raider organization, is certainly excited about this acquisition of this player. So I want to thank Matt and his beautiful wife, Lori. I understand that the negotiations didn't get completed until late last night, and they had to catch an early flight this morning. They have 3 daughters, of which one's celebrating her 4th birthday tomorrow, so they're just going to be here for a short time. But we appreciate their efforts in getting here. And with that, I'd like to introduce your 2014 Raiders quarterback, Matt Schaub.
Thank you. Very excited to be here. First, I need to say thank you to the Houston Texan organization for the past 7 years for being so great to me and my family. But on the same token, very thankful to Mr. Davis, Reggie McKenzie, Dennis Allen, and Dan Ventrelli for bringing me here and giving me this opportunity with the Oakland Raiders. I'm very excited. My family's very excited. Very excited to get to work in such a manner that we can win a championship here in Oakland. And I'm very excited to be a part of this team. My teammates, a lot of veteran leaders, a lot of young talent. The offseason so far has been proven, the will to win around here and the players that have been being brought in. I'm very excited to get to work and be a part of this organization.
Hey, Matt, Josh Schaub with Associated Press.
Yes.
How important for you was it to get a fresh start after the way things went last year and be able to go somewhere new? And
very important. Fresh start can do a lot of things for a player and a team, and I'm one of those guys. And last year did not go at all how I had planned, given my prior 9 years before that. And I'm looking for a fresh start. I'm excited about the opportunity here and the players that are on this team, the coaches, the plan, and the direction. Reggie has brought in a great mix of young players as well as veteran leaders and proven players in this business, and I'm excited to just be a part of that and be a part of the direction that this team is heading.
Hi, Rick Tittle with 95.7 The Game, the home of the Raiders. A lot of fans are seeing your 2012 in years before that, 4,000-yard passer, a team that thought that was going to the Super Bowl, and last year with the Liz Frank injury and the fans turning on you, the pick sixes, and people question like your confidence issue. First of all, how's the health of the foot, and what's it going to take for you to get back to that 2012 Matt Schaub?
Yeah, the foot's great, healthy, excited about this opportunity, moving on. The past is the past. I can't do anything but move on and to bigger and better things, and I'm excited for what the future holds here with Oakland, and just excited to get to work. Happy to be here, and very confident in my abilities and the players that are on this team, and just excited to get to work with them through the off season here and enter training camp ready to go.
My name is Scott Bair from Comcast Sportsnet. This question is for Greg. Why do you think that Matt is a good fit for your offensive scheme?
Well, first of all, he's got a proven track record. As we said, when we went to identify that player, there's very few players in the league, and really in the history of the league, if you look at what Matt's done over the course of time that he's played, he's had 5 seasons of a 90-plus quarterback rating, which I believe there's only 4 or 5 players in the history of the league that have ever done that. Obviously, he's had a tremendous amount of experience. He's at an age right now where most quarterbacks are in their prime, so we still feel like he's got a lot of good football ahead of him. He's a proven winner, and we weren't going to let last season deter us from the player and from the track record that he has shown over his career. So, like I said, he was our #1 target from day one, and it was just a matter of getting the deal done. So. Real feel fortunate to have the player.
Greg, how much priority was to be able to get this done early in the offseason as opposed to maybe, obviously you have a draft pick as opposed to waiting, if there had been a release or something like that, but in order to get him in at the beginning of the offseason program, have him in?
Well, it was critical just because, again, when you looked at the number of the players that may have been available in free agency, and obviously Matt was not one of those players, but we did feel like he was a player that we may have a chance to either work a trade for or that he may be released. But as he got closer, obviously, to the draft and you're in the evaluation process, and throughout the time we were working to get something done and still hoping to get the player, you realize that you can't count on possibly a quarterback falling to you in the draft, and so you'd better have a plan. And I think, again, that Mark Davis and Reggie and Dennis Allen had that planned early on from the start. Like I said, when the season ended, it became the #1 priority for us as an organization, and so it was critical. And again, to get him at this point, and knowing that you're really the players now with the collective bargaining, not being able to get back and get in the building until April, it was still very critical that he got in here and got a chance to meet with us and talk with us and get him a jump start on what we're trying to get done here.
Jerry McDonald with the Oakland Tribune. When a season goes bad, especially a team with the Super Bowl expectations, it stinks for everybody in the team, but it's really the hardest on the quarterback. Did you learn anything about yourself going through that?
Yeah, I think so. I think anytime you go through a lot of positive things or negative things, you're going to learn from it, and you're going to grow as a person, as a player. And I think anyone that's been in this business for any amount of time knows there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be peaks and valleys, and it's how you respond to them. It's how you deal with them and move forward. And I'm excited to move forward. I'm excited for what we have building here and the future. And I've definitely learned from it, and I'm just ready to move forward.
VittorioRaiders.com. Matt, you've played in big games, the big stage, but what do you bring to the football team? What can Raider fans expect from you?
I think I bring a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge of how to play the position, how a successful offense works and how it operates, and consistently. And I think I've done it for a few years now at a high level at the quarterback position, and just a level of leadership to help set a direction that Dennis Allen and Greg Olson will help set for the team and for the offense. But as the quarterback, you got to step in the huddle and demand things out of your teammates and set a course. And I think that starts in the off season. I think that starts with how you prepare and how you work at your craft, and how you demonstrate to them that, if they just, bust their tail day in, day out, that at the end of the day you're going to give them a chance to win. And that's what we're here to do, and that's the direction we're going.
Hey, Matt, Vic from the Chronicle, San Francisco. You mentioned the need for a fresh start. Any part of you thought you might be back in Houston at all, or was that just something you figured it would be done with?
Well, I don't know. I mean, listen, I've been in this business for 10 years now, and I've seen a lot of crazy things happen, so you never really rule anything out, but, I'm just excited that this opportunity presented itself and that I'm here, and just excited for the direction and the places that we're going to be going.
Yeah, Greg, last season when you first got here, for a short period of time, Carson Palmer was going to be your quarterback, and then you go through Matt and Flynn, and then you go through Terrell Pryor and Matt McGloin. Just what are you going to be able to do in terms of volume and feeding your quarterback information and execution that you could not do last year?
Well, it's exciting, and it's funny you bring that up, because certainly in part of the evaluation process, when I looked, at Matt Schaub, and obviously I've had a lot of, as I've seen the player over the years, I have a lot of respect for the way he plays the game. And when you look at him again statistically, had he not had the season that he had last year in Houston, he wouldn't be sitting next to me here today. So I feel very fortunate. Again, 5 straight years, consistent, good football, winning football. And the experience that he has just makes it so much easier, obviously, to coach, to have a player with that kind of experience. I was fortunate when I got in the league. I got in with Jeff Garcia, who was a veteran-type player, and there's so much more that you can do. And so I'm just real excited to have that player again. Last year at the time, sitting here, I don't believe the Carson Palmer trade happened until April, so we weren't even at this point a year ago. So just real excited to have the player and to be able to have the opportunity to get a player like Matt Schaub here to the organization. So we're all excited all around.
Hey, Matt.
What do you think of how Derek did today?
He did great. There was one ball that he probably wants back. A little placement-wise, it was about a step behind Isaiah on an in route. But other than that, he threw the ball exactly how he's been throwing it the last month, in the exact same spot. I think our guys just maybe got a little tired. There were a lot of routes. It was a little warm out here, so. But I thought through what he battled through this morning, and being able to cram an IV in him and then go out here and compete, he threw the ball well, man. It was impressive. Fun to watch. Well, it's just been since the end of the season, they've been getting to know him a little bit better. Head coaches, GMs, and just different NFL guys. And it was good to see a lot of those guys out here today. But they've kind of just been getting a better feel of who he is as a player in person. And this was kind of just a culmination of that. He came out here and ripped the ball. I mean, I told him before, I was like, I don't care if you complete a pass, just throw it hard, look strong, look confident, and he did. I think the first 40 passes were complete, so they started kind of getting a little tired, but I thought he threw it great. Well, it's not really an overthrow, it's throwing to a spot. A lot of things in the NFL, those deep balls, 46, 47 yards, 5 yards from the sidelines, that's your spot. If your receiver's not there, then that's all right. But that's the one. You don't want to give him an underthrow. You don't want to give the DB, Sherman, a chance to tip the ball up in the air. And so we just told him, that's the landmark, that's the spot you've been throwing it to. And it was a lot. I mean, the energy levels get up for those guys, for those receivers, and it's taxing, especially with just 2 big guys out there running. So I thought they did. I thought they all did a great job. I mean, for them to even finish, Isaiah, he was just, he's cramping up, and he's got another 70-yard route he's got to run, and there's no way he wasn't going to run it. So, and then he ended up making a play on it, which I didn't think there was any way he was going to get to the ball, but it's kind of a worlds colliding type deal. Like all these coaches and scouts I've seen for 12, 13 years. So to get to see them all here at Fresno was kind of neat. I kind of remember back when I was kind of going through the same process, and to be able to just be out there with Derek and encourage him, it's kind of a little euphoric feeling. It's pretty neat. He's an impressive athlete, and to watch him throw the ball, it jumps out of his hand. But what I'm getting him ready for is Sundays, and in August and September, and then even later on. So that's our focus. He's kind of ugly, a little ugly, and can't really do anything about it. He doesn't shave sometimes, so he kind of covers that, but that's all. You can't really tan. He's kind of he thought about throwing with his shirt off. But then I was like, it's kind of bright. So he shot that one down. I don't know that. I mean, physically, he don't have one. He doesn't have a weakness. His weakness is experience. He's a rookie quarterback now. So wherever he gets drafted, it doesn't matter. You got a chance to play in the NFL. you got to go into that situation and realize that you're kind of behind the 8 ball right now. This is it's a grown man's game.
One of the games looking forward to this weekend is going to take place in Mexico City. You're going to see the Houston Texans take on the Oakland Raiders. And you look at this matchup inside the game, I think the Oakland offense and the way they've been rolling, I think that's a key storyline to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think you have to look at that. One of the more explosive offenses in the league. When you look at the board, you see passing offense, there's 6. Pass protection doing a great job protecting Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is playing like an MVP candidate. This is an offense that is dangerous and scary to stop.
Well, you talk about Derek Carr playing like an MVP candidate. I give a lot of credit to these guys on the outside, and Cooper and Crabtree, and what they're bringing this team. You've got somebody in Amari Cooper that can go down the field, can make plays after the catch, and then you get down into the red zone area. Crabtree's about as tough a cover as we have in the NFL. So he's got those 2 guys, key guys on the outside. He's delivering them the football. It's opening everything up else for their offense.
Yeah, they're getting great contributions from their offense, and that defense is beginning to settle in. Khalil Mack has 6 sacks in the last 4 games. They're beginning to kind of get it going. And the thing is, they're playing a Houston Texans offense that is struggling with Brock Osweiler. Brock Osweiler has been a huge disappointment for there you see on the bottom line. The fact that they're able to win a game when your quarterback throws for under 100 yards says a lot about the rest of the team. At some point, Brock Osweiler is going to have to step up and be the franchise quarterback they expect him to be, but I don't think it happens this week. That's why I'm going with the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. The Oakland Raiders win this football game, and I think their defense, led by Khalil Mack and company, they generate some turnovers, and that's the difference. Can't wait to see the Mexico City. It's going to be a great atmosphere for this football game. Look forward to watching it.